That's a lie. Ern's cat attacked his keyboard. About 10 minutes ago, it was 6-3. Eyes are for squares, like pants. But are you going to Paradise City? And the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Aren't we
I would have to look into that. They can't hear him. They can hear me. Chat will judge the voices in Cat's head, but not Cat himself. Don't wear pants. Have fun.
You could have watched it. Bye.
では、前に出ます。
Hello, chat. Good news, everyone. I'm back. I'm just kidding. I know that probably just made some people immediately close the stream. Free pants time? Yep. Okay, so I just got the go live tweet out, chat. Do me the favor, go give it some love. You guys know the drill. Let me grab you guys today's sauce. I like it. It's pretty nice. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ooh, excuse me. Give me 1 second, chat. I had to do one more thing of prep here that I forgot about. Okay. Bob's maybe in the right direction. Pion, thank you for the resub. All right. Let me get this hooked up and we're good to go. Okay. Hello, chat. That's a good bunny art on the tweet. It is. Go give it some love. So, whether or not you guys realized it, that was a new intro screen done by Mr. Don Kaku. I know this song, yeah, it's Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes? Why am I blanking? Yeah, the White Stripes, okay. Sometimes I forget things. Anyways, this is a brand new piece. It's so new, Dan hasn't tweeted it yet. So, I don't have a link for you guys. Probably tomorrow. I've noticed whenever Dan does a piece for me, he usually lets me have it and then tweets it the next day. I could just be his schedule, could be whenever he thinks it'll perform best. It is what it is. But this is Aurelia Drive. So I basically asked Dan for a spin on Aerial Drive. And it came out pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Dan worked with me on the design. Of particular interest was the gun. He wasn't sure what to do with it. And so I just kind of helped him come up with something. He delivered. Yep. It is fantastic. I actually like the little color highlight he did on the hair. He also... Oh! Did that close it? That actually... What? Hold on. He actually also did like some coloring on the wristband and stuff as well, so definitely nice. Space Rally? No, Space Rally is a different one. This is Aerial Drive Rally. But yeah, Dan did a fantastic job. I'll get you guys the link tomorrow, probably when he does it. Wait, what am I staring at? Oh, this is the alt account. Okay. I was like, why am I seeing the alt account right now instead of the login screen? Hello, Robo. She wears it well. That's good, Civ. Yes. But again, I hope everybody had a good weekend. For those of you guys that haven't tuned in a hot second, I've been sick. I literally got to stream Monday and Friday last week, and Friday was me forcing myself to stream. So it was not a good time. I think best case scenario, chat, like I told Bob this morning, best case scenario, I tanked a sinus infection with no antibiotics. Worst case, I just tanked COVID. So it is what it is. I still have a little bit of congestion. I still have a cough at times, so you guys will hear it probably. But I am much better. In other news, Anime NYC is over, and we have some news. There was an FGO panel at Anime NYC. They told no one about this. And it's freaking hilarious to me because we would not have caught it if not for several of the VIP members actually went to Anime NYC together. And so it was a thing. Was there? What the fuck is FGO marketing doing? So the panel was not televised. And interestingly enough, my buddies got to ask Albert some personal questions one-on-one. Now, there's some good and some bad to this. The good news is that basically I now know a little bit more about the behind-the-scenes workings. The bad news is I was kind of told that, like, expressly I am not allowed to, like, take credit for anything or make any of this known. So I can't tell you anything. But it is what it is. And I'm going to take that to heart. I'm going to value the fact that they spoke off the record. And that's actually cool. So, did you sign an NDA? No, I didn't. It was just one of those deals where it was like, basically, I was told something to the effect of, it would not be smart of me to say anything on the subject matter. And as a result, I'm not going to, because frankly, I don't want to breach any amount of trust that's there. So I have said before that the Aniplex devs can trust me, and that if they ever wanted to talk off the record, and they did not talk direct to me, chat, they talked to my friends, but this was messaged kind of telephoned back and forth. So it's like, it's one of those deals where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna end up doing anything. I thought I was gonna be able to talk about it. That is why I like told you guys there was gonna be big news, because there was something decently big revealed to me. It's nothing like NDA worthy or anything like that, and you guys will probably eventually find out. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, I'm not gonna try to like step on toes, basically. But yeah, they actually had a panel, and apparently the Japanese overlords were not there. So that's kind of what allowed Albert to speak off the cuff to the crowd and everything. That's happened before. It hasn't happened in a while. It's been a couple of years. That's usually what happens is whenever like Japan's not there breathing down his neck, Albert can be a lot more open, like transparent, I guess you could say. Just not like he obviously there's things he can't talk about, but like it allows him to not have to worry as much about like perception. So it's actually a good thing that that's a thing. It can be authentic, yeah. Also, chat. This one is not pertinent to you guys, really. It's just highly pertinent to me. I have a date this Saturday, and it's my first date in a long time, so I'm excited. I hope that there will be good news to share from that. But I actually, like, I would have probably gone on a date this past weekend, but I got, like... I got very sick, right? Like, so it was one of those deals where I was like, hey, not this weekend. So... I've streamed through having a girlfriend before, chat. Now, I will... Full transparency here. Having a girlfriend means doing stuff with that person. So, if this relationship progresses to that point, there will be days that, like, probably, like, a stream gets canceled or moved. And that'll just be what that'll be. I'm just going to be as transparent with you guys as possible. But if it results in less streams, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Is it the same girl who likes Saber? Yes. Yes, it is. God cock blocked you? No, I think God's looking out for me. I'm dead serious. Like, Jed, I nearly got struck by lightning today. Also, fun fact. I was driving on my way back to work from lunch, and on the way to work, I drive past a lake. We were having like flash flood level thunderstorm, like just came out of nowhere. Pitch black skies, torrential downpour, like harder than a hurricane. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking like, no, there's no way, Cad. There's no way it's harder than a hurricane. Oh yes, no, that's a thing that can happen. Like not the wind, but the rain, a lot harder than a hurricane. So it was to the point like I was doing like 30 miles an hour, which is not fast for any of you like UK or European people. Doing pretty slow on the road. I could barely see the car that was like, you know, a car length in front of me. Is how like torrentially downpouring the rain was. Lightning, as I'm coming around the lake, strikes the lake. And it is so close to me, I felt it in my chest while driving in my car. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm trying not to die, man. Like, It's just one of those deals where there have been numerous things now where I'm like, I think like fate is trying to kill me, and like God's like, nah, bro, I got you. I also slept terribly last night because I made tacos yesterday, and I think something in the tacos was bad, which I also ate the tacos today. I know, chat, you're probably thinking, why would you eat it a second time? The prevailing theory was the cheese that I was using, because I had some shredded cheese, was what was bad. So I switched that out. But I'm thinking it was my homemade taco sauce, because I have leftovers that my parents gave me. And now that I think about it, that thing's like been in my refrigerator for like 3 months. It doesn't really go bad, but I may be in for another night of that. So that's kind of actually why I'm eating dairy right now. But we'll find out one way or the other. Let's talk about cleaning out your fridge. No. To be fair, my fridge is actually very clean, other than like condiments. And like condiments normally don't expire that fast, so that's why like I don't think about that sort of thing. CAD speedrunning getting isekai'd. Apparently, here's the thing I'm going to tell you though, chat. I figured out the meta for weight loss. Repeatedly become morbidly sick. It works, I tell you. When you're sick, you don't feel like eating. And when you're sick, you get like diarrhea. You can't hold anything in. It's like the best of both worlds. I'm trying to look on the bright side, chat. Don't spoil this for me. Yeah, let me get you guys the link. Here is today's artwork. Sorry for waxing philosophic. There you go. And okay, thank you for the 19. Appreciate it, buddy. And thank you again for all of the hard editing work, chat. If you guys can, thank Mr. Okayest. He is the one that helps me out with the YouTube. So I'm hearing I should get a tapeworm. Listen, that's what it feels like I have. Like, wait, what? Oh, okay. That was weird. Like, legitimately, eating this ice cream is the fullest I have felt in like a week. Rip Player 07. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Lady Gaga classic banger, but it's not Lady Gaga. It's worse. It's Kesha. And the song is called TikTok. Sorry, I'm also fixing the dog cam because apparently it was aimed the wrong direction. And chat doesn't want to miss the doges. Update event support, please. Never! Can't make me! Sorry, I meant Kesha. I don't know why I said Lady Gaga. Don't worry, they're all the same. Will I tell us that I knew? No. However, chat, I will not tell you that I knew, but if it happens, you will know that I knew. And that's all I'll say. We got spring campaign finally after 6 months. Yeah, back to school. It's so funny because I had people like, again, 6 months ago, like perpetually asking me like, hey, are we going to get that? Are we going to get that? Are we going to get that? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not one of the devs. About copyright, well, both copyrights can coexist because they are completely different fields of copyright. Sorry, for what now, JC? The only time I have an appetite when I'm sick is when I've got a stomach virus. If it's just food poisoning, I still get hungry. I have a tendency to go through waves of it, and I basically just force myself to eat. And usually by forcing myself to eat, I get the sustenance that I need to pull myself out of it. Like, honest to God, I feel like I've actually recovered from whatever the heck that was really quick. It probably doesn't seem that way, but it feels that way. We start dash part 3. Someone would have to correct me, but I believe that's not until the 3,000 days. But I may be wrong. What is Lartoria sniffing? Is it Cad's blanket from last week? I don't think anyone wants to sniff my blanket from last week. I mostly just take fruits. So, chat. In my efforts to lose weight, I'm not doing a good job. No, I'm actually doing great. I this week started after like 10 years of eating only Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast. I swapped it out for just a singular banana. Just one banana. So starting this week, that is how I've been going. Yes, banana. I have determined that if Ash is not going to eat bananas, then I have to eat more to make up for it. I have bananas, but they're all green right now. Mine are like perfectly yellow. So I'm worried that like by the end of the week, I might not be able to eat them all, but even if it starts getting a little brown, you're probably fine. Banana Oni. Does it rotate? It could. It could very well rotate. Why not Cheerios all brand? Honey Bunches votes. I've definitely thought about it, but so I'm a heathen. And I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch without milk. And I'll just let chat think about that. Oh, no, it was water. I didn't put water on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Because that would actually be blasphemy. I just would take a handful, eat it, drink water. I eat all cereal without milk, so sounds fine to me. Yeah. Cat, how could you? No, listen, chat. You don't understand. There is a reason that eating cereal with water on it is blasphemy, but eating water with cereal is not. Water with cereal is just normal. Okay? Putting water on cereal is just making it soggy for no fucking reason. That is blasphemy. Like, that is the worst of both worlds. As opposed to eating them separate, perfectly fine. That's just nasty. Exactly. I see nothing wrong with eating cereal dry. It gets difficult. Like, if you don't have anything to drink after a while, it's like, ugh. Cat, have you considered trying Pilk? No, I have never once in my life considered trying Pilk, despite the insistence of multiple people that I know that seem to like the idea of torturing everybody with the concept of Pilk. What is wrong with you guys? Can't believe that I didn't get a user survey this year. Did we not? Oh, we did. But maybe I'm misremembering. Pilk is just a thin milkshake. I mean, honestly, that is low-key close to what it is. Like, if you've ever had like a root beer float, chat, it is not that different. Like, I've had, for instance, a Dr. Pepper float. So, like, oh my god, soda with milk. Wow. But do I actually just want to drink that for fun? No, not really. Have you watched The Best Breakfast in the World from Joshua Weissman? No. Yeah, yeah. Ice cream is milk in it, but it's not the same. True. But a lot of milkshakes will be made with milk as well, so. Like, to me, it's not like that disgusting of a concept in actuality. I just don't feel like that's a good thing outside of like putting scoops of ice cream in it. Wait, hold on. Oh, not that. I need to do my Ember Gathering. I need to clear Flare Olga, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, and Flare Olga is the only one that even has like a remotely close time limit here. I'd eat the actual ice cream myself. Oh, there's like Dr. Pepper flavored ice cream, which is really good. But listen, chat, I'm in weight loss mode, not weight gain mode. So what is this particular breakfast supposed to be? Also, welcome back, Prophet. So gelato is better? I like gelato. I'll be honest with you. I can eat just about every form of ice cream. At least of the ones that I know of. Maybe there's like some really obscure like turkey ice cream or some crap, and I'd be like, dear God, no. I do feel like ice cream is basically relegated to a couple of flavors, and once you get beyond those flavors, you're just being willfully like willfully evil. By the way, chat, this is the waiver Lartria comp. If you guys want to see some dumb damage, behold. Could I eat bacon ice cream? It's probably fine. I just like, I don't know. Something about savory ice cream sounds wrong to me. Now, I am starting out technically with 50% charge here, but I don't have to. It's just I'm using the damage seed just to... I like big numbers, chat. That's really all it is. Am I doing a Saberface themed Marie run? I don't know. We'll see when I get to looking at what the mechanics are. No. Chat, I ascribe to the oh god, to the Reacher school of ice cream philosophy, which is that there are two flavors, vanilla and chocolate, and sometimes strawberry is acceptable. You can put toppings on it. You can do whatever the heck you want. You can even mix all three of them together. But that's it. Anything else? You have tampered with God's creations. No caramel blasphemy. I do like other flavors, right? Like, it's just like, the more out there you go, the more I'm just like, why the heck would I order that? I want ice cream. Stracciatella, yep. Most gelato is just high quality, yeah. I feel like caramel is just a mixed in topping. I agree with that statement. See, chat, this is why I say it doesn't matter. Because, behold, having 50% starting charge from the CE and having a 50% starting charge remaining means that there's no fucking difference in the comp. But behold damage output, chat. My wife gonna do things. $1 million HP, Vlad. 3 million HP. King me, bitch. Now, in all actuality, do I have to run the damage sheet? No, I don't think I do. But I think wave 2 would maybe be a little suspect. I just carded him dead. Yeah, no, it's fine. A lot of people are using the Summer Tiamat comp as well here. Yep, I was gonna say, like, Huion Zhou is damage bonus, so if you've done all of her stuff, it's really easy. Now, Age, why are you so smelly? Sniffer? I see. Appropriate response. Okay. Well, let's, out of curiosity, let's see how much a singular Buster card does here. I haven't paid attention. So if that had been a better command code on it, that probably would have just one shot. Because Vlad is not divine. Being able to face guard enemies to death feels so good. Oh, I've seen a lot of people that are like insisting that the comp is like better or faster. It is not. It's actually slower. Because usually how it will work. Let's imagine this is a Tiamat. This is a Tiamat and this is a Huion. Both the Tiamats and the Huion are all going to get themselves charged up to full. But you need an NP, an NP, and an NP to handle wave 1. Right? This means you are already, as of turn 1, as fast as you would be using other comps. And you haven't begun to card yet. So you still have 2 more like waves of enemies to card your way through. Can you do it quickly? Can you do it easily? Probably. Is it faster? No. That is kind of the trade-off. So it's like, it's one of those comps where it's like, it's going to be really fun to use. It's not going to be the fastest thing in the world. So unfortunately, I think when it comes to stuff like lottos and everything, I don't think you're going to see people doing it very much. I think when it comes to like problematic nodes or challenge fights, I think that comp's going to be really strong. Nito Alter Phantasm Moon. Interesting combination. With Summer TM out, so that's a huge advantage. That's not an advantage at all. Allow me to explain. Your concept is that it saves. What happens when your Tiamat gets to bond 15? It's all the same, chat. Is this Hogan's Heroes? I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! I love Hogan's Heroes. It's an amazing show. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I know nothing. If you heard it, you'd recognize it. I recognized it just from the drum line. There you go. If you heard it, you'd recognize. Yep. Game need a huge overhaul. It's just not designed that way, sadly. Yeah, I'm not trying to like shit on the Tiamat comp, but I am going to try to curb people that are trying to like insist that it's like the new standard. It is not. It is not like something that everyone has to be doing. It is not like that strategically advantageous over anything else. It's just another nice option. And I think that is a good thing. And you will hear me talk about how good of a thing that is. But it's not like, oh my God, you can't do other things, right? Bond 15 is also not an issue anymore. Yeah, I mean, I've had people that like still insist it is. I get it. I understand. I just like, I think people have a tendency to overhype the amount of quartz you get from bonding as opposed to quartz that you get from other sources. Do you get quartz from bonding? Yes. Is it a significant amount? Yes. Is it something that you naturally do over time? Also, yes. So, like, people have a tendency to, like, overemphasize it to the point where I really don't think it actually makes a statistically significant difference as opposed to the cost of doing that. So, like, are you going to get more quartz if you sell out to bonding entirely? Yes, you will. Is it worth the opportunity cost? No, it's not. In my opinion, the more you try to hyper-fixate that stuff, the more you drive yourself insane and the more you cost yourself resources. With how slow bonding is the worst way to get sand quartz, I'd say. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, it is truly infinite. That is the upside to it. But there are usually other mechanisms that you can be pursuing that will get you that'll get you quartz faster. Though, I think at a point when you get to, like, say, an end game point where, like, I'm at, how much can I really be getting sources of quartz from outside of bonding? It's not much. But that's because I have, like, all of my milestones and stuff done. Your average person is not where I'm at. Have you been farming all the grand duels? You could easily pop a few bond grails with them on the grind week. You can. However, you just said it yourself right there that you're farming, which means that you are spending resources to be able to do that farm. So you're losing out on things like apples, right? And potentially even popping quartz. And that is hilarious to me in some of these cases, because I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, if you even remotely have to touch a singular quartz, it is now no longer worth it. Not from the bond perspective anyways. But I think, like, as long as you have the apples to spare, sure, why not, right? But you also need to ask yourself, is there an opportunity cost and things you could be better spent using the apples on? For instance, we did have a lotto. Some of us determined that the lotto was not as good for us. Other people, that lotto may be actually, like, the best thing for them to grind. So it really just depends. It depends on the account. And that's why, like, you won't catch me making holistic statements about, like, this is the best, this is the worst, and that sort of thing, right? Like, you'll see people that have said, oh no, that lotto's crap. No, that lotto was not crap. That lotto was crap for like people like me that have been playing the game for a shit ton of time. But if you're not someone like me, that lotto could have been very good for you. And that's why that distinction is important. My account is probably a big exception. All my golds are 999. I just need mostly dust proof and lower rarities, and then I'm done on JP. Right. Fair enough. And therein kind of is my question. What are you farming for? You're farming to give yourself more quartz, to give yourself more units so that you have more to do. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You've overfarmed. Chat, I still am not at 999 on units. Still, after all these years playing. Why? I just don't farm that much. I don't have to. There's no real point to it. So, in a weird way, I guess at that point, there is a different opportunity cost. And that opportunity cost is in here. That opportunity cost is sanity, that you could be doing something else with your time, that you could be enjoying your life a little bit more, and not just constantly degenerating. Yggdrasil seeds. I definitely need some seeds on the alt account. That is a different one. Different problem for me. Okay. Real quick, chat. Am I capped? Is that my cap? I think that's my cap. Yes, it is. You have the opportunity to relive new account map problems in the flesh. No, I know. It's been eye-opening a little bit. And I'm dead serious on that. Like, for instance, I have made recommendations in the past to work on Robin Hood as a low star unit, chat, with the understanding that Robin Hood is pretty easy for most people to get. And compared to someone like Urael, Robin Hood's materials are easier. I still stand by that stance. However, Robin Hood takes seeds. And do you know who else takes seeds? Oberon. And do you know who else takes seeds, chat? Proto Merlin. And now Oberon and Proto Merlin both take them at level 1. Also Ask? Yes, also Ask. So it's like, holy shit. I am quickly learning that while seeds are not bad per se, they are highly in demand early in your account's history, and you do not get them. They are not given to you in a very high quantity because the rewards coming out of the early singularities are crap. So even though you have access to a node to farm it, it's not too good. Actually, I brought this up the other day. So, sorry, chat. Basically, if you guys have never seen this spreadsheet before, I'm sorry. There is a command on the channel called !drops. And it will give you the spreadsheet. But first things first, you need to use the correct spreadsheet for your server. And second thing second, for a new account, this is hot garbage. You should instead go click up on that. So here is the one I was looking at for seeds. I came all the way down here to NA comparison silver. And what this does, right off the bat, Seeds of Digital is your first silver mat. And chat, I get comparisons for all of the best nodes for seeds currently out on NA. What does that mean? Can't touch Salem. Can't touch Babylonia. Can't touch Salem. Can't touch Shemosa. Can't touch Agartha. Can't touch Babylonia. Can't touch Sin. Can't touch Salem. Can't touch Agartha. It is not until the 10th best node for seeds in the game that I have access to them. If I had gone by this and I had scrolled down and looked at seeds, I can't do any of these. That's why it's important to understand how to use these sheets and tools, because this allowed me to make an informed decision. Also hilarious is the fact that if you know, you know, and Bountiful Sea is not immediately available. Allow me to show you, chat. Bountiful Sea is an additional free quest that you can only unlock from doing the free quests of an adjoining node. And I'm very lucky that I remembered that it was Archipelago that did that. Because I guessed, and I guessed right. And yet still, I have yet to get a seed drop. Welcome to sometimes all the data can be on your side and you can still just get bad RNG. It is what it is. I haven't farmed it too much yet, but like that's the idea behind it. And that's why, like, again, it's important to understand all of this stuff. And if I had just been looking at the top 5 nodes, I would have never found a node I even could do. And why does it matter? Well, chat, allow me. Okeanos is the first one I can do here at 53 AP per. Otherwise, I have to go down to Orleans at 61 AP. So it's less efficient. And it doesn't even have a secondary material. At least Bountiful Sea has feathers that I can farm. So this is a 2 birds, 1 stone type of node. This node fucking sucks. There is very little return on your investment in this node. So, again, like, I could go find a node that maybe has seeds listed in it, but they are not equal, and they are not good. That is the issue that you'll have. Plus, this one is 7 AP to Bountiful Sea's 18, which means I'm running double the number of nodes just to reach this amount of AP. Hey, Kimba, how's it going? Doing plot can't be underestimated. Yep. And that's the thing. So, again, good idea to know how to use this stuff. Early on, you have Okeanos Pirate Hideout for coins. Well, remember, the higher the AP per coin, so like you're saying 72.27%. Oh, 13 AP. I mean, that's fine. I have not like tried to get coins at all. But I was gonna say, just remember that the higher the AP per drop, the worse the node is. You want low AP per drop, ideally. That's why for the longest time, we did not have a Heart of the Foreign God node on either server, and it was not until Shinjuku that we finally got a node that added Heart of the Foreign Gods to be farmable. Before that, if you wanted to farm them, you had to wait for Caster Training Ground Day, and you had to go farm it to the tune of 500 AP per. And it was actually more than 500. Now, chat, is the point where I tell you that I have done 2 24-hour streams in my life. And they were both in the early game when hearts were available from a very lucrative node. That was temporary. Those are the only times I've ever done 2 24-hour streams. And I'll never do them again. I hate 24-hour streams. Like, they're fun for the community, but they are hell on the streamer. And it's funny, too, because still to this date, I think I'm one of... I think it's like only me and Trubs have successfully pulled them off in the directory. I think there have been many other people that have attempted it, but I've yet to... Like everyone that I know of that attempts it crashes out. They don't actually do it. Me and Trubs have actually done it. And part of the reason why is usually we know enough of preparing for that sort of thing. But like, again, it helps to have a goal. If you have a goal and you're not just doing a 24-hour just to do a 24-hour, you'll be a lot better off at completing it. And that really does help things out. Or just farm the Da Vinci Lotto? Yeah, Da Vinci Lotto helped. Oh, I thought about doing story retrospectives. No. One, I'm not like Mr. Huge lore guy. And 2, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. I don't have the time. Something like that would take an army, and there are already plenty of people that do it, in my opinion. And when I say takes an army, it would take an army for me to do it. It might be super easy for someone else to do, right? So to me, not really worth it. But I can understand that it seems like it's a good idea because it is. Because there are people that do stuff like that. Sorry, this is the alt account still. Let's go back to JP. Oh, sorry, no, not JP. NA. NA, we have to do Flare Olga. Oh, I gotta read. How much reading is chat? That's why I'm not farming gold berserker gems. I will farm gems. Gems aren't a problem to me. Usually I'll farm gems for like the essential units that I need, and then like for instance, I'll give you an example of this. The new player account has Ask. It has Waver. It has Nidocris. Okay, and actually, I still haven't pulled the trigger on whether or not I want Sieg or Iris Veal from the welfare shop. So basically, it's going to have like 5 different casters. I will farm out the gems for all 5 of those casters. No problem. It'll take me a bit, but you know, I'll just wait, do it on Fridays, and that's that. Okay. After that, those gyms are all going to get handled by random drops, by events, and by lottos. And the casters beyond that core group there, it's not a huge deal, and they can get their stuff on their own. I just saw Australia has been added to the queue, and I'm terrified. Ugh. What's the big news? The big news was that Anime NYC did have an FGO panel, and they didn't tell anyone. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning of the stream, chat. Surely everyone was here at the beginning of stream, right? Was there something cool about it? Well, like basically the JP like overlords weren't there, so Albert was actually able to talk like off the record on stuff. Wait, you stream, right? I was doing my RuneScape dailies, CAD. Can't you automate those? No. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Sorry, I didn't realize that's what you were saying about the Berserker stuff. Yeah, it's like if you know you have a good upcoming opportunity, feel free to take advantage of it. I just usually what and I guess like what I was trying to say there is like I will like get the core group done, and then like all the other like 3 stars and 4 stars and even additional 5 stars that I get, like they'll get taken care of over time. It's like you just usually have an important like need to get certain units up and online first, but once you do, it's not bad. And almost lost his FGO account. Jesus. See, chat. This is why we need the website. Like I said before, we do not need people losing their accounts at this point of the game. Imagine you played the game for 10 years and then you lost your account. Be so fucking pissed. Hey, Zelfer, how's it going? Is that people with multiple accounts will need multiple emails? Or they just don't bind the other accounts, but yeah. I don't think that's a problem though. I think that's fine. I'm scaring you? It's to be expected. By the way, chat, there's more to that art piece. It is cropped. And not because, like, I had to, but because, like, I had to. Basically, it's a horizontal piece, so I couldn't fit it. It's Mysterious Olga Marie X. Wait, chat, does that make her Mom X? Can it negate the effects during Camelot's Gawain fight? I don't believe so. Because I think it's a hard-coded aspect of the fight. Is it related to FGO? Yes. Did you go to Anime NYC Power? It's count chat. Uh. Had your date yet? No, my date is this Saturday. Which probably means no stream Saturday. Just full transparency. But I believe I got to double check with Bob and the crew, but I believe we are scheduled for D&D Sunday. So we're still kind of waiting on like hopefully Steve gets his account back, because as you guys if you were here, you know, but I basically told you guys before that Steve got perma'd. He got perma banned from Discord. We're not sure why. He got like basically they said he broke terms of service. And even Steve is like dumbfounded as to how this is the case because he hadn't done anything. And then he created a new account because he, you know, like wanted to interact with us and everything still, but they basically then banned the new account and said he was ban-evading. It's like Discord's so fucking stupid, dude. What the hell? Yeah, it is what it is. Is he trying to get it sorted out? He's submitted an appeal, but he doesn't think it's gonna work because he got hit for ban evasion. And I'm like, yeah, I mean he's not wrong. Like I'm sure they're not gonna like that he did that. But like I'm also like, what, like Discord, what the heck is he supposed to do? Like, come on, dude. You don't tell, and I'm gonna say this, I think this has to be true for every single major social media giant. If a person is removed from your platform, so like not me banning someone from my Discord, but like Discord banning somebody from their service entirely, they should be legally required to tell you why and give you an avenue of recourse. A boy got a date. Your boy did get a date. I still have to decide the details, but I will work on that this week. Let Steve in, right? Otherwise, just arbitrary deplatforming. Yeah, I've seen it happen before, and basically, it's funny because when it happened before, the person was apparently on some sketchy like hentai Discord, okay, and that whole Discord got hit, and they banned everybody on the Discord, which is just wild. Like, don't get me wrong, there was probably some like fucked up shit going on in the Discord, but like, I don't think that means like every single person that was on that Discord should be responsible for it. It's like, imagine if somebody did some like crazy TOS breaking stuff on our Discord. Should everyone on our Discord be perma'd from Discord itself? No, right? Like, only the idiot that did the crazy TOS breaking thing should be. And then maybe like, I don't know, if like the mods are somehow culpable and they allowed it, like maybe there needs to be a reprimand or something, like. But holy crap, dude. But he was saying that like there was a similar situation with like some hentai Discord that he was on recently here. So it's like, yeah, I'm wondering if that was the cause. Is Ilya Casher still good? Yeah, she's still fine. 50% charge. Always going to be pretty decent. This is so weird because I've never read this before. When these came out on JP, you couldn't read any of this. Yep. Oh my god, dude. They throw way too much stuff at your face here. Oh, we got this early. That's interesting. This is a quality of life that JP did not have right away. I think they got it like after the first one came out though, so it's a good thing that they just went ahead and gave this to us. Am I doing Saberface only run? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I have to read what the stuff is. Okay. I can't even read what the other slide is because it keeps giving me a pop-up over the top. Sure. I get that. Okay. Are we done with pop-ups? Special class affinities to plan accordingly using advantageous classes. Attack advantage. It's assassin, berserker, alter ego. Defensive advantage. It is rider, moon cancer, foreigner, shielder. Huh? We probably lost 100,000 US players from no account security. Oh, it's probably more than that over the years, honestly. Don't do saber face only on this. It's too insane for that. I feel like you're saying this just to make me try. Let me... Chat, does fandom have anything on this, or do I need to go to app media? Because I just am trying to look at the waves. Fandom has everything? Okay, that's a change. Define everything, chat. Because, like... This does not tell me dick about the fight. Am I on the wrong page? Is that why? Oh, thank you. All party members are inflicted with pain. Wind, water, heart. Chat. If the mods were the like members of the Captain Planet team, who would have what power? It's wind, water, earth. It's fire, wind, water, earth, and heart. Everyone gets heart. Oh no. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm using my mouse, but I'm not. Is yours. Did we get the upgrade? Nope, not yet. How dare you, chat? How dare you? Wait, do I have like a turn limit on this one? Or is it just, you just have to make it through? The prominent book is Sky. Am I blind? Deploy the ace. There we go. Increases own attack based off of HP left. Of course. Revive any defeated dual sun. Oh, that is cancerous. So that one needs to die simultaneously. Wait, are they both Gawain? Gawain and Barghast. Okay. Number 5. It's just Black Widow. What is Eclipse? Cats? Okay. That one's gonna be nasty. A dragon. That is a lancer. How's the effects of class affinity for skills and noble phantasm of all classes? Oh, sorry, increases the effects. Evasion for 3 turns on a caster. Ew! What? No. That is just evil and bad. Chat, one more quick question. Is it one group per battle? Or do I get the ability to reuse old groups? Just one. One per battle. Also, once you lock in, you can't swap Mystic Code. That's fine. No doopsies between comps. Yep. Fuck. It's not a good comp. Yeah, double X seems better here. Is Zerk interface? No, that's fine. I just don't have the staying power for this, I think. I can probably throw Draco in somewhere else. Where's my NP gain? See. Am I blind? I not have an MLB yet? That's insane if I don't. That sucks. That probably means I've combined copies without MLBing, which is a big feels bad, man. I need to get 50% here. Wait, I can get away with the 30%. The little like ways I have to find around the like charge issue. Oh, that's charge up. I need the NP gain? I don't expect Jonta to do much here. Hate this one. This one I actually need to try. Do I have his maxed out append? I don't think I do. Do. Is Arthur's base 20 for his charge? Or is it scale? It's base 20. Okay. No wonder I didn't lure it. It doesn't need to be lured yet. It eventually becomes a 30% charge skill, but until that happens, I don't gotta touch it. Now, unfortunately, neither of them is super large, but it's just it's something at this point. And they're not divine. Close. She won't be able to turn one to it, but she gets 676k. The max HP up. Who is Black Widow? Reem. This is probably just a K-scope and go. No, I don't want that. Does Cream have writing? She is not. Yeah, this is what I'm worried about. Oh, he had it. That'll work. I want Gray to have that more than him. Type, thank you for the resub, bud. How's it going? This is Cats, isn't it? Yes, it is. And Cats. Fondant au chocolat, chat. Okay. This one's kind of bad. It's a demon beast. It's not considered demonic. This one gets a little spicy. So this is the 3 turns of evasion. So this is the one where I need people to have sure hit. And like saber faces are not good for that. And then this. This just fuck around and find out the comp. Fine as long as I got 20 stars. Well, that's not easy. So chat, you think double X instead? Chat, will it preserve this if I back out? It does? Okay. Okay. So that's 8. That's 4 for 12 per turn. Not the best, but yeah, everything else just gives 4. I don't like the C choice on her. What am I looking for her? Don't worry about it. All right. Let's send it, chat. Only one way to find out. I probably should have switched Mystic codes, though. Uh, well, doesn't matter. You got to get in the stage and then do it. Yeah. You basically just got to play with stuff until you get it right. Yep. I'm surprised that Morgan had the soak and Castoria still stole most of the stars. I would not have anticipated that. Okay, wave one down pretty easy. It's not a one shot, but that's. You almost have to, like, measure yourself and take your time with some of these easier ones. Okay. Believe this is just self. Oh, no, never mind. Got a heal, so I maybe should have sat on it, but it is what it is. I'm a little bit more worried I get insta-gibbed by the crits. Goodbye, Ace. Pretty much. The good news is Umu can probably solo it out. Oh, no crit? Really? Oh, that makes that a little bit harder now. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Lots of Vulture cards, no Buster Sag. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll at least get a decent way back to another NP. I was really hoping he'd hit Lartori again. But it's a triple Buster chain. Okay. How much damage are we going to get out of that? That's plenty. Goodbye. I know my wife, chat. Hey, this is the dual sons. I do not like the idea of this. You have to kill them both on the same turn. And it's not like it's impossible. It's just like, with everything else you're doing, this one's kind of annoying. I Ibuki'd them, yeah. Oh, God, the arts card. Lily, why? Jesus. Really need them to stop charging. 98%. I don't think this will be good. I think with the defense ups, it does not kill. Lily's mana loading is it? Yeah, and like I sat there looking at it, I was like, well, obviously I'm gonna have to lure it at some point, but I was like, I'll probably be fine, right? And it was literally like, no, fuck you. I think I stagger and I pray to God for some good damage here, but I don't think it's enough. Is it a full revive? Yes. Oh my god, dude. That is so dickish. Yeah, you have to retry the current wave. There's no way. Like it's doable. That kind of like hard fucked me. A bit more thinking should be necessary. I just don't think it should full revive them. Like I said, not really impossible by any means. You just have to balance out your damage. That's enough. You go for Mighty Chain? No. No, I don't. Hold on. Hold on. No, that's close enough. I can make that work. I go Mighty Chain. That's Ugh. Basically I dealt too much damage. Which is what it is. Like, you're gonna have that happen sometimes. Alba, thank you for the 61. Appreciate it, my dude. And Prophet, thank you for the 69. Appreciate it. And Adiko, thank you for the 15 as well. Sorry I didn't see yours. I don't think I saw Char's either. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I think I was blind this whole time. I was too busy talking. But thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. What's up, Cal? Okay, surely you're not gonna brutally murder hobo him with just one card, right? Right, Jarcher? Jesus. Okay, we should be good, chat. By God, they really made that one not want to work, though. I'm an Ultra Boomer sub. It's okay. I appreciate Ultra Boomers. Arthur never gets lucky, huh? It is what it is. Like, Arthur was just basically filler here and somebody that could provide Star Bomb. All right, number 5. Black Widow. Oh, do I go with the Jolter chain? I don't really have the stars for it, but might be able to steal those stars. Not really worth, but whatever. That wave sucked. It did. It is what it is. Like I said, I knew that one was going to be one of the problem waves. And that's why I tried to give Jarcher the best C I reasonably could for that scenario. Well, that wasn't a lot. At least she spent the majority of her time on, Oh, yes. Yeah, it's just herself. Oh, that 90% Jarcher card, or Jolter card, is so necessary. These two move destroys Cream Hill? Probably. That's annoying, but thank you. I swear sometimes the AI just knows and it does it. Well, congrats. You played yourself. By killing Okitan, she basically shuffled the deck again. And that did not help her out. Okay. Eclipse. I'm waiting for Kets to just wombo me. This girl's set to wombo mode, chat. God, I have the gray chain, but I think we go that way. Here's my comments. This is an easy way for me. Yeah. It shouldn't be too bad. Assuming Kets doesn't get to go too crit happy. That's more what I'm worried about than anything. Oh, of course she guarded it. Never fails, man. I could star bomb there, but that's really just not necessary. Secret caliber, chat. God, that's so. I don't know if chat can appreciate that one. Flat-footed, like with no real buff from an ally. She basically had debuffs on the enemy from Gray there, but that was it. That was all just kind of like her under her own power with like a 60% CE there. And she just dealt like 300k, almost 400k to her. That was really good. Okay, so this has increased the effects of all noble phantasms and such. All right. Fuck it, we do it live. I was gonna do Nero Bride's NP first, but not when I see this. When I see that, that's a sign. Yep, that's a win, chat. Right now, already calling it. When I saw that it increased the effects of like class advantage, I was like, oh, my Saber's gonna be able to handle that. Now this one, like I said, this one's gonna be a little bit problematic. I just don't really have charge here. Um, Send it. Come on, crit. 90%. I have not had 90% crits go my way tonight. Oh, I should have done reloaded meme, but kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. I just need like one of these women to get off there and pee. See what I mean when I say like the AI seems to know? Oh, no, never mind. It didn't. It did a dumb. Yep, that's a full send. Forgot Pearson. Yeah. Well, it's funny because now I think his evasion's gone after this turn. Oh, good arts crit. Thank you. You redeemed that from earlier. I need at least. I'm gonna take that. What the heck? Yep. Full send, baby. And that was doubly protected because if I didn't somehow kill there, which I anticipated it would, I was still prepped for another NP. Wait, what? Okay, I see. Weird. Uh-oh. This one may be my problem. I may have underestimated this one. Oh, wow, she got everything. Holy hell, that was lucky. We got the triple chain here. I may have I should have sat on that, but whatever. I need Mordred not to die, but better. $68, you little bitch. Oh, no, it's at 98. All right, at least Mordred lived. It's pretty much best case scenario. I can go for the Buster crit, though. Yeah, we do it. We do it. Umu's probably living to get to an NP anyways. Yep. That was worth. That Buster crit hit harder than Umu's NP will. Oh, hey, you stay away from her. There we go. Umu for the kill. See? I knew that Buster crit was worth. Now, chat, this is where there's a problem. This is where, like, I just don't know that this comp will work. And that's not good. I shouldn't press that. Oh my god, it worked. What? What? I have never gotten such a good result. Holy crap. It all went to the arts card. That is actually absurd. She does the highest star draw of the squad. Does she? Even with the 100% down? I'd have to double check. Yeah, see, this is what I'm worried about, though. She doesn't take a lot of damage, but she ain't gonna dish a lot of damage either. Or it's probably a hidden right up. Yeah, that's what I assume. Okay, first breakdown. Hold on, chat. I think I want to go back and I want to pop her first skill. Because it's kind of a user to lose it scenario here. I'm dooming myself to sitting on it while I wait on other skills to come back. She resists foreigners? Yeah. She takes 0.5 from, but she deals 0.5 to. So you can see she's not doing much to her. I can also pop the third skill. Is fire a threat to humanity? That's a good question, actually. I know wind is. I don't think fire is, though. Nope, she's not. Oh my god, the charge. She should. Well, wait, what? Did she and Pete? What? I'm so confused. John's third skill does stun Olga. Good to know. Thank you. In P Seal? Really? Oh my god, dude. This is kind of a free turn. And it needs to be used accordingly. It's 2 turns? Specifically 2 turns? Can I stun? No. She no longer has Invuln Pierce, so it's saved. I guess, but I'm a little bit terrified, so we're still just gonna do that. She's dead. I don't remember if I have the heal yet or not. I might. Come on, man. I don't want to have to redo the whole thing after 33 turns. I know, I'll plug soon. Like I said, I knew when I went in. I was like, man, I should have swapped. You want us to redo the whole thing? Yeah, I can just redo this one, but what's ridiculous is I have two cleanse characters here, and I can do nothing because they're both in P-based cleanses. And it just happened to be a 2-turn in P seal instead of a 1. That's just, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Let's see. Play it and see what happens. Oh, I'm about to get smacked. Oh, crap. Oh, when to cast around. I'll take it then. But unfortunately, I probably die here. Actually, that dealt more than I thought it would, but that's not good. She played it masterfully. Yeah, I think we just command seal it. Oh, okay. I don't know why it was stuck. Mr. Fox, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? Of course she and P sealed me. Why wouldn't she and P seal me for 2 turns? That's, yeah. Gonna do exactly what I think it's gonna do. Hired this burger to stare at me? Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm being stared at by somebody else right now. As long as she doesn't crit me to death, I win. I saw that critical miss, Olga. I saw that shit. That's just... You know what? Get Arts chained. You're not worthy of the full mighty chain. Came in at the perfect time. Yeah, we got it done saber face only, but I had to use one singular command seal because basically the way she did her attacks right there at the end cost me. And it put double X down in the dumpster. And if she had kept doing her spin attack, I would have been fine. So she just did a targeted attack and it finished double X off. But it's just, she almost had perfect RNG against me there. And it happens. So I'll take it. I got to the point where I was like, man, this is an interesting challenge. I also simultaneously don't feel like doing it again. Like, I did not have a teapot. If you guys have a teapot, turn it on for this battle and you will get a ton. It's, you know, basically just look at all the numbers that you guys see here and it's like, imagine that being doubled. That's basically what the teapot's effect will have for you. So I've seen a lot of people get like super upset that they didn't have a teapot. It's not the end of the world. It's nice to have, but it's still like, it is what it is. But yeah, that was that. I have yet to do this. I'll probably wait till teapot. Yeah, well, there is a mission for doing it in the next, like, 5 days, I think. I think you get a little bit of extra Stardust and some quartz. But it's, like, not the end of the world if you wait. But how was Stream Buddy? What were you guys up to? Also, I saw... Have you been sick, too? Because apparently I thought this was just a me thing. You just need to attempt. Ah, there you go. Most of the tail end of my cold. Yeah, I don't know what I had. I told chat because everybody was insisting that I go to the doctor, and I just refused. And basically, at like best case scenario, I tanked a like sinus infection with no antibiotics, or I probably had like full blown COVID and didn't even realize it. Because I had achy joints, I had fever, like unable to regulate body temperature, deathly cold, nasty sinus pressure-y headaches, and like that then morphed into drainage, into sore throat, into nasty cough that I still have. So like I'm hoping it was not COVID for obvious reasons, but it is what it is. Flu? I don't think so. I've had my flu shots and stuff, but I mean, if it was, it was. So glad you're feeling better though. Yeah, I feel a whole lot better. And Levi, thank you for the follow. Welcome. I just had allergies the last couple days. I have pretty bad allergies myself, but it's funny because like I guess the regimen they put me on as a kid, like it's rare that my allergies like wipe me out now. But like I have a coworker of mine that like he is frequently out due to his allergies. Like I'm like, dude, what? Like I never understand how it affects him that bad. But I guess I get it to an extent, because if it was like driving me insane, I wouldn't want to like come into work either. Team Umpulse, nice. Did you get her? She was kind to you? Good. Yeah, she's a really interesting unit. I've gone over her entire kit with chat. I've shown them demonstrations and numbers and stuff, but I haven't like played her for chat really on stream yet. Part of that's because I haven't leveled up my own. I need to do that. But yeah, no, she's a really good unit. And it's like it's no big deal. To be fair, chat, this is how I've always been with sickness. Like, if it's not like, hey, you're coughing up blood, I like basically just don't go to the hospital. Like obviously for serious stuff, I would go to the doctor, yada yada yada. And there have been times that I've had to do that, but in general, I try to like not do that stuff. Pull but not level. It's just been a case of like, because of all the stuff I've been juggling on top of being sick, I've just been like, oh yeah, I need to get around to doing that. You ready for Saberface Earth Olga? No, I'm not. I tried it. So full transparency, chat. I tried it here mostly because like if there was any one that I could pull it off, it was this one, right? But am I going to do Saberface only for all the Olgas? No, F that. But it was an interesting idea, and Chad had been bringing it up for a couple of days, so I was like, let's see. You want to get a 500 bill for them to tell you to take a nap? Basically, and the other issue was I had just been on antibiotics for like the tooth surgery that I had down there. So I was like, I didn't really want to like get on antibiotics again. Because I know like antibiotics are basically a case of like the more you use them, the less effective they are. So I'm just like, It's like as long as it's not like a really bad infection, I'll be fine. Which kind of was, but still. Herbal tea extract. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Usually passes in like 3 days. Highly recommend. Yeah, I have zombie call. It's basically like elderberry extract, and it's really good for anything like sinusy or throat. So it's just like that's usually what I take, and it does so good. Actually, this time around, I tried what chat had been saying as well as Trubs, which was gargling salt water. That really worked, and I don't know why it did. Like, and the way in which it worked, obviously it helped a little bit with the sore throat, but it helped with the mucus and like my sinus like being clogged. So I was like, I didn't think that would work like that, but it did. So I'll have to do that again. Tastes like actual piss, but it works wonders. Listen, man, I'm a water enjoyer, so I'm used to things with no flavor or bad flavor. Now, the other one, I didn't tell chat this one, but I think it was like a Harvard or an MIT like paper someone put out that they basically said like if you're having a lot of like sore throat and other issues, one of the best things you can do is you can take like vinegar, honey, ginger, and ground red pepper, and you mix it all together and you drink that, and it tastes so ass. But if you can drink that, not only can you probably drink any liquor that's out there, but you can also like very quickly recover from stuff like that. So I think like between that and the salt water, that's just why like my sore throat never really got off the ground. It basically just kicked its ass. I don't remember if we can keep doing this. Like obviously while it's here, but I don't remember if it's infinitely repeatable. It's limited, yeah. I don't really know why. Honestly, like the amount of effort that they put into these, like this has been what's always made me like question the devs, because it's like you have something like this, and then you have people over here clamoring for like CQ content, and it's like they want a challenge, and you made a challenge, and you take the challenge away. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know why they don't just leave it. No fun allowed, yeah. Except for Earth, the worst one. I think that's why. Like, and I'm dead serious. I think that's why Earth is available permanently, is because I think they specifically designed that one to have more challenge to it. And again, you guys can see that if we go over to JP. The end. Hold on. I gotta do my daily. Still nothing else besides the Brynhilder, but can't really look a gift Brynhilder in the mouth. Ah. So if we go look, right? Basically, Earth Olga has multiple tiers, and so the only one that's available to me still is the 3-star one. It is what it is. So it's like, I think that's why it's stuck around for people, is people haven't done the higher tiers. But meh, do it? No. I don't find Earth Olga fun. Out of all of them, that fight to me just seems really poorly tuned. Like, so it's like, to me, it's less of a challenge and more just the devs made a boss that hits so hard it basically just stack wipes you. And it's like, I don't really think that's good design in a game where your players can only have like, you know, one dinky little hit bar, right? So it's the worst one before. It's the look, chat, full transparency. It is the hardest fight in the game. Period. End of story. There is nothing harder than that fight. So it's like, and it's not really designed for you to clear either. It's literally just like, it's there as a goal for people that want that challenge, and they can eventually get their account to the point where it can challenge it, but can it clear it? That's another story entirely. Yeah, it's not worth a single ticket. Not the amount of time and strategizing you'd have to do. Also, I wish we could redo story fights. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't gotten like a hard mode, in all seriousness. Even if the hard mode was just like bumped up health bars, or like the addition of a new break bar and new break bar effect, like I still feel like that would be interesting for people. I've said though before, and like this is to me a personal preference, but also it's smart of them to handle it this way. But it's like, you can probably put some stuff behind a hard mode, but you probably shouldn't put so much in terms of the rewards that it becomes prohibitive. I know people that think differently than me on this. For instance, people in the challenge community think that like challenges should have better rewards. I disagree with that. I think the more reward you put behind a challenge, the more essential, the more required the challenge is. And therefore, it's less a challenge than at that point and more just forced gameplay. So if you're somebody that enjoys the, sandpaper at that point, then like, yeah, you're fine with it. But if you're somebody that maybe doesn't like that style of gameplay, you're not going to appreciate that, and that will actively piss you off and make you not want to play the game. So I think there's a balancing act that they have to do, and you can't please everybody. You have one group of people that doesn't want to do challenges, and you have one group of people that like they're demanding more, right? So it's like, how do you appease them? Well, you give more challenges, but you just don't make them required. That really is the best of both worlds. And then it becomes like an EPing thing for people. And that's fine. Like they can do it. They can say like, hey, look, I cleared it. You didn't. I'm so much better than you. But at the end of the day, it's like, at least the player that doesn't find that type of content engaging doesn't have to do it. Story hard mode with courts. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, depending on how they did it, I think it's fine. Like, if you talk like pretty much everything up through like the first couple of Lost Belts, you would be perfectly fine doing that. I think if you started getting to like Lost Belt 5, Lost Belt 6, Lost Belt 7, if you started having hard modes that are actually difficult and you start locking really good rewards behind that, again, like I said, people are going to feel like it's necessary at that point. So it really just depends. PSA, you have 5 to 4 days left. Grab anything for the monthly shop before the monthly reset. There's probably a better question. Have I done my Grail casting for the month? Looks like I have on JP. Okay. All of that's good. This perpetually upsets chat. I think I will buy these just to get them out of the shop. Nikkei is a hard mode story and it's perfectly fine. Well, hear me out though, okay? So, in terms of games that have hard mode and normal mode, I'm gonna be real with you guys, chat. FGO's normal story is the equivalent of most games' hard modes. I'm really serious on this. Most of the games that I've played, their normal modes are the most brain dead fucking thing ever. Like, I could stumble into the node with any number of things and easily complete. Okay? So, like, it is what it is. Now, I think that's where, like, this sort of thing matters, is, like, the difference between the games. So if you're going to compare them, like, how well do they compare? I don't know. It really just depends. They're designed for normal to be incredibly easy, yeah. And I will say this, like, in that regard, that's actually something I think FGO should, like, learn, is that, like, hey, yeah, you can have a normal mode that is brain dead piss easy, and then nobody, like, has any problems clearing it. And then nobody is stuck and can't do story. That's, I think, like, when I see the devs sit there and go, like, we need you guys to complete the story, I go, why did you put those stupid fights in people's way? It's like you sit there and you're like, man, people didn't complete LB5. Yeah, everybody got stuck on Demeter. Like, shocking. So it's like, is Demeter too hard? No, not really in the grand scheme of things, but it was hard enough of a fight that it like gave people a complex. They got afraid of it, basically. And we know that from player comments. Like, I remember in one of the Famitsu interviews, people were basically complaining that, like, they were afraid of Demeter. So it's like, huh? Force support ruins every chapter. I mean, I think force support's fine at times, but yeah, there's ways in which they can handle it better and ways in which they can handle it worse. Through idle mechanics, yeah. Nikkei is basically no limit when it comes to your team strength if you just play enough. I mean, and I think to a degree that's kind of true of FGO. FGO's like, chat, remember post Oberon? Post Oberon pre 90 plus plus, you could do like everything within P1s. Like, the game was considerably easy at that time. What was the problem? Well, if the game is considerably easy, are you going to roll for multiple MP levels? So this is just kind of a problem of the dev zone making. They keep like chasing their tail as like they have to design the game to be hard enough to warrant these things. But then they go, why aren't people doing these things? And then they look into it and then they realize and they're like, fuck. And I think it just keeps going in circles like that. So they keep like trying to address one thing, but then they bust something else and it keeps happening. So it's like in FGO, our power scaling is through the roof. We can have such absurdities. I mean, again, chat. I have a unit that is dealing at where the end enemy has 1 million HP, and this is considered a high amount of HP for the game. And I have a unit that's dealing 3 million, and it's just laughing at it. So, like, is everyone gonna have this? No. But this is also a case of like, yeah, like with you basically investing in your account, you can get to such a point and just go like, okay, I shit on you. And so it's like, that is a thing that can be done in the game at times. But is it good for the game? I don't know. Is it like something where the devs need to like keep an eye on that and like keep a lid on it? No, honestly, I would argue that like 90 plus content is tuned a little bit too high. And the whole reason that it is to incentivize people to have MP5s. Even the Lost Belts and first two OC chapters were too easy. There's a reason for that. Chat, you thought people got stuck at 5, right? How many people do you think are still stuck at Fluffy? How many people do you still think are stuck in 7? There's a reason. The devs have realized, I think, at least partially, that like there's no point in making the ordeal call chapters harder because holy shit, people are still not getting done the original stuff. And I think now that we look and we see that one of the parameters for if FGO will continue into the future basically deals with the completion rate of the game's story. I think the devs have been aware of that since at least Ordeal Call. Which, chat, that's 2 years. And I think because of that, they have made the fights not as hard. There's still some challenging fights in Ordeal Call, but it's, yeah, I think they know. Camelot, Babylonian, Solomon is a major difficulty spike. Oh, yeah, Camelot, like, basically, and I was just talking to chat about this because, like, we're going through America on the alt account, right? And America is piss easy. Until right at the end. Right at the end of America, you get a nasty little tandem fight, and that sets the tone from here on out. Because right after that, you encounter a Sphinx in Camelot that has more health than them. And you go, what? Camelot literally just jumps out of nowhere and is like, thought you were done, didn't you? Ha! And just like sucker punches you right in the mouth. The bat, the raid, hell, some people got stuck in the floating battle for LB7. Yeah, it just, so 7, LB7 is very similar to Singularity 7. In that both of them have a lot of gimmick fights. And gimmick fights, if you know the gimmick, are not terribly hard. If you don't know the gimmick fights are just usually annoying and cause people to get stuck. So people that like don't read story probably do get stuck on gimmick fights. Upgraded from Weenie Hut Jr., yes. I still fondly remember Gawain bullying Picard. You fondly remember it? People don't think. Yeah, I think that is to a large degree like just a thing, right? And I think it's fine. I don't think there's like a huge like problem with that per se. But I think this is just something that like at the end of the day, they're going to have to come to grips with. And as we head towards a potential like part 3 for the game, they've got to realize this will just continue. This is not going anywhere, chat. Like, if they don't do something about it, they're just going to have people that get stuck. But like I said, at this point, I'm at the point of being like, hey, I will do whatever I can to help you guys clear. I love this game. I want this game to continue, at least in some form, right? Like, if they want to like take some time and make some major changes to the game, I'm okay with that. If they want to like maybe investigate like a potential future of like an FGO2 or something, I'm okay with that. But I don't want to see them just let this game go out with a whimper. That feels like such a waste if they do that. So it's like, I'm down to help anybody clear. I'm down to help anybody get through this as best they possibly can. And honestly, I think a lot of people are. I think you can ask just about anybody and they would tell you that, like, I think there's some people that have some really, like, bad opinions about FGO. And I think there are people that, I just want to say, like, frankly, over the years, I think they have a love-hate relationship with the game. They just want to, like, be rid of it. But also at the same time, due to their own lack of willpower, they can't get themselves to give it up. And so I see these people that have, like, very mixed opinions on the game. And so, like, they will be like, I hate the game, but I keep playing it because it's Fate. And I'm like, that's so sad to me. Like, I wish there was stuff that we could do to help out with that sort of thing. But also at the same time, I'm like, I just don't think that some of those types of people can ever really be pleased. I think sometimes they're just miserable and they kind of are just like trauma dumping on everybody else. Real talk, would you support an FGO2 if you have to leave all the waifus, money you spent on the game to start all over again with the rolling? Because let's be frank, no way they are making an FGO game that's not gacha. I mean, they could make an FGO game that's not gacha, but it would really depend, right? Like, at the end of the day, would I support it? It would depend on how they did it. There are good ways and bad ways to do things, as you know, you guys are all too aware of. Like, I know it sounds like I beat the dead horse on this all the time, but like, basically, I'm not a huge fan of the MiHoYo games because I don't like how they monetize them. I feel like they're inherently predatory. But there are people that will absolutely disagree with me on that. And there are people that are fine with it. So to me, it's just one of those deals where it's like, if I felt like they were doing things scummily, I don't think I would support it. And then people will be quick to point out, it's like, well, FGO has, you know, bad gacha rates. So isn't that scummy? And it's like, well, I mean, to a degree, FGO has gacha rates that are pretty standard from back in the day, and still to a large degree are standard and in fact better than some other gacha games. The difference is FGO basically doesn't have a variable rate like some of these other games do. It doesn't have a like super low pity designed to make you always go to pity. So that sounds worse. Well, the reality is that you don't go to pity, and therefore a lot of the times you like luck sack a unit too. So it's like, yeah, there's times where you go all the way to pity and you have bad luck, but there's times where you actually do get good luck too. So it's like, to me, I think there's just a trade-off, and I think honestly that it's a good thing to have not every gacha game be the same. I think like that is, it's kind of like we see in like gaming at the moment, where a lot of gaming is like revolving around Unreal 5 right now, and people are beginning to kind of realize that's a bad thing. In the same way, I think if every gacha game becomes a clone of Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail or Zenless Zone Zero, that is a bad thing. I don't think that's good. I think that's like bad for the industry, because it just results in sort of a homogenization of tactics where it's like they've got the ability to milk you down to a science. And I think that's not good for us as players. Add story skipper. Yes, on the alt account here. I'm in a streak of hitting pity 3 times in 8 months. Yeah, and that's rough. Like, I'll just go ahead and say that is rough. That has happened to me as well. But across all of my years of rolling and across all of the time I've had pity, how often has that happened to me? It's happened to me twice. Is it frequent? No, actually. Most of the time I don't go to pity, or even close. Like, most of the time I am pretty lucky. So. But at the end of the day, I can easily see how that could be something that would, I don't know, upset people, right? Like I have seen people be like, oh my God, I had to spend 400 quartz to get this unit. And that's deeply upsetting to them. I think those people lack perspective because they don't know what the rates are. They don't know that the average is 330-ish for a unit. So it's like, they'll just sit there and they'll say like, yeah, but that's more than I would have to spend in another game, therefore bad. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you have different currency rates in these games. So it's like, this was the argument I got in the other day on Twitter, where someone was trying to insist that FGO is not generous with its currency, and then they basically outed themselves for not playing the game. So it's like, I don't know what else to tell people like that. It's like, in their brain, they have their mind made up that the game is not generous, but the reality is they probably didn't get a unit that they wanted, wrote the game off, and then only log in to accumulate the login quartz, and then wonder why they're never getting anything. And it's like, well, yeah, that's why, right? So at the end of the day, I think it just really depends on people's perspective as to whether or not the game is being good to them or bad, or whether or not the game is benevolent or scummy, right? At least in my case, most of the time I just take a step back and I look at like all the factors, but I don't expect that most people do that sort of thing. Most people are creatures of habit. Most people are victims of circumstance, and they will just perpetually keep like, how should I put it? Like focusing on their current situation and what has happened to them, and they consider nothing else. And to a degree, you can't blame anyone like that, because why should you care about anything other than your normal, like, personal existence? At that point, instead, it becomes a little bit more about like just kind of having like an understanding of the game's systems. And I think that is something that FGO does a terrible job of. It does not explain things well. At least FGO handles power creep pretty good. I see, if you had told me that in like the first like 5 years, I would completely agree with you. If you had asked me that in the like in the first 6 years, I would have mostly agreed with you. And after year 6, I can't agree with that. Oberon really did just like fuck things up in terms of the game scaling. Now, with that in mind, how have their adjustments been to it? I think they're fine. I like in that regard, I wouldn't disagree with you, because I think they've fucked up and I think they've let Pandora out of the box basically. But I also think that they have responded to it about as best as can be expected. And they have given us at least, you know, higher end nodes to try and curtail that sort of thing. And they have made it where there is reasons to do it, but it's also where if you can't do those higher end nodes, it's not the end of the world. And you can just still go do another node at like 99% of the same efficiency. So I think that's good. I think that's smart of them overall. But is that the way it should be? I don't know. Why not everyone is still usable? See, I think if you look at 90++, right? Because we had this, like I had this comment the other day, and this is kind of what sparked it. It was like me saying that the game is generous with its currency, and that the majority of units can be used until the end game nodes, and those end game nodes are not necessarily required, right? So what did I mean when I said that? Well, you don't have to do a 90++. You can basically just go out there. You can basically just go out there and say, you know what? I'm going to only do 90+. To hell with ++. I will only ever do 90+. And then because of that, 99% of the roster is viable. There is a subset of like less than 1% of the roster that are just like, oof, good luck using them. I'm not going to say that you couldn't use them. I'm going to say you're going to have to bend over backwards and desperately try, and it's probably not worth. Okay? Now, I'd say within that, there's maybe like 10% of the roster that is on thin ice. And then I think the vast majority are still good. Okay? But I think if we move that up, if we go to 90++, the vast majority of the roster is not viable. And I think that's a problem. I think that is an issue. And that's one of the big reasons why I've said they need to be buffing the units. So you don't have to do the highest end content. But the problem is, it is slightly more efficient. Doubly so if you can use, 6-slot comps. So I think that's my issue with it, right? Like, that's where I say, hey, they really got to do a better job of especially picking up the back end, right? They've got to, it's like, imagine you were running in an Indian run, right, chat? And so it's like, you're out here and you're in front, and then there's like another stick figure right here, and they're also running behind you. And then there's another stick figure, and they're also running. And then there's another stick figure, and they're also running, but they're like lagging behind. Okay. The concept of the Indian run is to make sure that nobody like runs too fast, and that you kind of like pace yourself, and you have moments where you stretch your legs and then you rest more, and then you stretch your legs and then you rest more. And so the person at the back has to run to the front, and then the person at the back has to run to the front. It's the same concept with balance. Only with balance, you're probably not making them run all the way to the front of the pack. You're making them run somewhere into the middle or somewhere slightly into the front. But that same concept still applies. You have to bring the person that is like, because it's not even this guy that's a problem. It's the guy that's like all the way back here, where he's like, hey guys, don't leave me behind. This guy's the one that actually needs to be brought up. He is not even part of the pack anymore. And that's an issue. And we have way too many units like that, unfortunately. And I agree, yeah. To be fair, lately doing 90++ isn't much of an issue. The issue is people demanding to do 90++ with 5 to 6 bonus Cs. 5 bonus Cs is no problem. 6 is the problem. People demanding to do plus with 6 is the issue, and the devs have no one to blame but themselves. That's how they designed the node. They designed the node to be balanced and to be equal in a sequence in which you basically have, how should I put it? A sequence in which again, like, it's comparable to the 90 at 6 slot versus 5 slot of the 90++. So it's like, when you design it that way and then people figure out that they can do a 6 slot, you've screwed yourself. You want to know how I would fix it, chat? And you wouldn't like me, but I could fix it. Single target archer, yeah. So I would make use of their like star mechanic node stuff, where they basically say, we're going to take class type advantage. And I would basically just give the nodes such absurd health levels that they can only be done both with class type advantage and a damage C. And there you go. And now it's no longer about, can you 6 slot it? You just can't. And they're roughly equal. 5 slot versus 6 slot. 90+ versus 90++. If you can't do a 6 slot, it is what it is. But then players 6 slot the ++ proceed to finish the event super early and complain there's nothing to do. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really see too many people complaining nowadays that there's nothing to do. There are points where you'll hear me say that, but part of the reason I will say that is to let you guys know that there's not anything really going on at the moment. so that like you guys don't judge me for not being like super active on stream with FGO. Like maybe I'm playing another game or something like that, for instance, or I'm about to. So it's like that's one of the reasons you'll hear me say stuff like that. But I honest to God, I have no issue with the game having downtime. I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for the players. I think it's one of the reasons that the FGO fan base largely is not the most insane, degenerate, simp-laden, like crazy fandom out there. Because unfortunately, I think that is something that every gacha game tries to do, is it tries to instill that addiction within people. And I think because FGO just regularly gives you breaks and allows you to go do other stuff, that means you're usually not like a super addict to the game. FGO is instead just like a game that you appreciate because it's something that you don't have to spend a whole lot of time playing, and it's pretty chill most of the time. Honestly, not trying to brag about that. I don't know. I 90 plus plus doesn't normally give me too much of an issue, but like there's still certain combinations that they can do to be annoying. There's always something to do unless you've 100% of the game. Well, about that. But no, like you will hear me say that sometimes. Like I don't really have anything to do, and that's the truth. Because like I guess that is either I don't have anything to do, or I don't have anything to do worth doing. Like there may very well be something to do, but it's like it's not worthy of my time. A 6-slot CE in class advantage, it tends to do it. I'm gonna say that's a gross oversimplification. And you probably have a very good set of units if you're capable of 6-slotting. For instance, a strong Melisum. And that's why, like, I counter this idea that, like, all of the units are viable at the end game. They're not. That is one of the issues that I have. It's like, yeah, it's easy to say, like, oh, we can do this when, like, oh, it's like, just run your Tiamat or something. And it's like, yeah, okay, Tiamat works. What about other options? Oh, no, just run your Tiamat. Surely you have Tiamat. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on. So that's why I say, like, the devs are not doing themselves any favors with how they've operated for a while. I usually need Black Grail on 90 plus plus, so 5-slot for me. Yeah, I mean, if you're using Damage C or a Black Grail, you're technically 5-slotting it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna say most of the time, it also depends on like what craft essences exist in a given event and stuff like that. But this will probably not clean loot, but whatever. Them locking 3 events in a row behind Lost Belts last year was rough for me. Yeah, I mean, that's just an issue overall, and you see kind of why they do it. They want you guys to play the story, and so a little bit they're trying to say, like, hey, get the story done, but also at the same time, it's like, there are times where they don't give you enough time to actually do it. So it is... I think that's maybe one of my arguments, is that they've said that like 3-week events were designed to basically give players more time to complete events so they didn't feel like they had to log in every day. But the truth of the matter is, unless you roll in the event, it usually takes you the full 3 weeks to do it, or at least pretty close to that. So I go like, I don't know about that, devs. It feels like you're not being totally truthful. This will not kill, but oh my god, lucky crit. Wow. Never mind. Waver just had to prove me wrong. And it was only because of the crit that he killed. I wouldn't call her strong. You have an NP2? But, I mean, the point still stands. Is like, the idea behind it is that if you have certain units, the game gets a whole lot easier. If you don't, the game is what it is. And then the idea of, like, do you roll for characters that you want, or do you roll for characters for, like, gameplay meta reasons? And people will say, like, just do both, or, like, well, of course do gameplay. And it's like, yeah, but some people don't want to. Some people, like, want to make the best of their units. And to be fair, and I'm going to say the people that don't want to just do everything meta are the actual correct ones. Hear me out as to why. That is how FGO worked the first, like, 5 years of the game. At least. If not 6, right? You didn't have to have the most meta unit. You could have variations of them. You could end up having a unit that at least was semi-capable in a like they were capable enough that they were like competitive with whoever the top unit was. But now we have such like big gaps in performance within a given class. Like, for instance, if you take like the AoE sabers, right? You would be surprised to see that your top AoE saber is a 4-star, and that there are other units that are close to that saber that are 5 stars, and then simultaneously you have a 5-star that is like so low on the scale that it is passed by the majority of 4 stars. And then you start going like, what is going on? And that's where you realize it's like, yeah, they just have not done a good job across the board. Because the way we used to have it, and I've explained this to you guys before, is like just drawing the lines on the screen. So it's like, imagine you had like, let's say you had like unit number 1, okay? And you had unit number 2, and you had unit number 3. And unit number 1 is just a high damage raw like unit. And unit number 2 is a niche unit. And so that niche damage carries them beyond them, but otherwise they're lower. And then unit number 3 is another niche unit, but his niche is even bigger. This is balanced. Because it means that the niches are in play, these 2 units are better than unit number 1. But if not, unit number 1 is better. And regardless, their performance is all pretty similar. So wherein lies the problem? Well, the problem is when unit number 4 comes in, and unit number 4 is just off the chart. And we've had numerous instances like that. Mel is one of those instances. So it's like, when you look at this, you start going like, devs, why? Why didn't you just make the unit slightly stronger? Why did you make them like astronomically, like an entire order of magnitude stronger? And that I can only blame them for. That's like Bush League level like balance design. Somebody got a hard on for a character when they were designing them in the dev room. And that person may be Nasu himself. And because of that, it's just the balance got fucked. Like almost all 5 stars I have is MP1, then I really doubt that you're 6 slotting. You can 6 slot and take however many turns you want though. Yeah, that's true too. So I guess like there is also that possibility of like, hey, maybe I'm not thinking of every consideration because of stuff like that. Well, this isn't exactly ideal cards. I do, it just takes a while. Okay, so that's how you're doing it. Yeah. Yeah, if that's the case, that's fine. Like, there is no requirement to 3-turn unless we're in a lotto. If we're in a lotto, then that's different. But yeah, it's like if you just want to do it for the maximum efficiency in 6 slot and not care about 3-turning, there's no problem with that. Use my meta servants as beat sticks. Yeah. We talked about anime NYC news. We basically did at the beginning. I told you guys they actually had a secret panel, which is kind of funny because they didn't let anybody know. And I was surprised by that. I did not think that they were gonna like have one at all. But I think, and hear me out, Chad, I think here's what happened. So they changed the anime NYC date. Normally it's like, I think it's like late October, early November, sometime in there. But instead this year it's in August. Why? They moved it forward, I think, to be closer to other conventions, but also to like get it out of the winter months and also so that they could like rent the full convention center. So I guess because they didn't have to share it, that just worked way better for them. But I think A of A, Aniplex of America, was not like prepared for that. And to be fair, I think a lot of the like convention planning and stuff for like guests and features and events probably has to be done well in advance. So if the venue changes up on them like that, that's probably a little bit of an issue. And there's just not much they can do about it. Discord DMs in a second? Yeah. Oh no, it's all good. So basically, Ash wants me to tell you guys, because Ash was one of the people that was there, that Albert had like different, and Ash, feel free to type it out for me because I don't remember half of it, but that basically that like Albert did have some stuff that was like just relatively pedestrian that he said, and apparently like he really liked Ordeal Call 4 in particular. So that was at least intriguing. I think like that's maybe a side of Albert we don't get to hear about too often, is like how he actually feels as like a player on stuff. That was really cool, yeah. Yeah, and I think Ash said that he felt like the first couple ordeal calls dragged on too long, which is an interesting idea. I'm not sure I agree with it. I think like in terms of development time, I would agree. But in terms of like the actual time it takes you to read through the ordeal calls, I don't really feel like they were bad. Like, if anything, I almost felt like Ordeal Call 1 ended a little bit too soon. Like that we didn't get enough like fleshing out of certain characters. But I think like it really just boils down to, and it depends on like what they were trying to do with it. Oh yeah, his advice for people that are stuck at LB7 was to use Santa Nightingale, which was interesting as well. And apparently, so I think he said this before on stream. So, chat, you know, Michael likes Michael likes Morgan Le Fay. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he said that before, but apparently, like behind the scenes, he's like a super gooner for her. Which makes me chuckle. And like, especially because Michael's a big like lore buff for the Nasu verse and stuff. It's like, it's not surprising to me. Morgan Le Fay regardless of Arthurian lore, it has always been a little bit of an enigma within the Nasuverse. So, like, finally getting LB6 and getting that fleshed out a little bit more, I think, was probably a pretty big moment for any Morgan Le Fay fan. And then adding in, if you're already a fan of like Arthurian mythos and stuff like that, which I assume Michael is, because again, he seems like a pretty avid reader. So it's like, when you have that stacked on top of it, it gets really cool, especially if you like can spot some of the like peculiarities. Yeah, apparently the staff had to intervene to get Albert to stop rolling for Gilgamesh on his first banner, and he got MP3 the first time. So like, he really, really, really wanted to get MP5, but they had to intervene because he wasn't. If only this were the JP version where we had the overcharge. Ash also asked him, basically, was he gonna like show more emotion on stream? Because that's been something I've brought up too at times where like, and I think like, honest to God, I don't really have an issue with Albert or the Aniplex of America staff in general. I think they're all probably pretty cool people behind the scenes. But like, there have been some streams where it's like practically a downer because we've ended up at a point where like, hold on, at a point where like the staff just felt like almost deflated, if that made any sense. And so it's like, Ash was basically asking me, like, can you show a little bit more enthusiasm during the stream, stuff like that. And it's like, he basically said he'll try, because I think that's been an issue at times where like there's a couple of times where he just comes in there and he's really flat and you can tell, and it makes the stream boring. It makes the stream not fun to watch. You feel like instead that like the developers don't want to be there. And if the devs don't want to be there, why do you want to be there, right? Like, so I think it's a good thing for them to do that sort of thing, but it is what it is. Lauren snitched on Michael. I see. Yeah, Lauren, if you guys don't know, chat is I think she's the Aniplex of America like marketing head for the game. It's probably not her fault, but as you guys know, I have major gripes with the marketing for the game. It doesn't feel like it's being run well. And that may be budgetary issues. That just may be like they're restricted as to what they're allowed to advertise on. Because I think that's the issue at play, is that a lot of stuff just takes approval from the JP side. And so depending on how they operate, it's really like easy for them to do or really not. So I suspect it's like, if it's something that like Aniplex already has a presence at, like Anime NYC or Anime Expo, it's easy for them to like get additional marketing for that. But when it comes to like doing anything else, like they're not going to put a commercial on TV. So at that point, it maybe has to get like completely like reviewed and okayed. It's the live broadcast that he gets hyped for, not the recordings. Yeah, and I've said that before, that like it's so obvious to me that Albert likes to feed off of the crowd's emotion and play off of that. And I get that like that's not exciting for the recordings, but it is his job. So it's like, as long as he's getting excited, like I think that's maybe like, if I were coaching Albert, I would tell him in the same way that like I'm here with you guys, there are over 100 of you guys on the other side of the screen. I know you're there. And I talk with you guys on the regular. So I think that's maybe the issue with like the pre-recorded side, is that like he doesn't at least have the chat interaction that like a live stream would. But I think the idea and the coaching that I would give him is that they are still there, just not yet. And so it's like they're all going to see you and they're all going to feed off of your emotion. And whatever you put out into the recording is what they will echo on the other end. Heck, maybe that's something I need to learn for the YouTube recordings, but it is what it is. Ash said that basically they asked, and I think this was mostly on my behalf, but also like collectively amongst the group, they asked if Kawasumi was going to be there for like Anime NYC, and Albert basically hinted that that might be a thing next year. So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll make a trip to New York. I think I vaguely remember seeing an FGO ad on Hulu years ago. Yeah, I mean that's a like we've seen FGO ads. They're just like they're pretty basic. They're very rare, and they are not like up to snuff with like industry standards, I would argue. Like I think it's pretty obvious if you go look at like anything else that like any of the other major gacha games are doing, that FGO's marketing is just absolutely garbage over here in the West compared to like in Japan, it's amazing. In Japan, they have full like metro ads, they have ads on buses and other stations and things like that. They take out ads in magazines and like commercials on TV all the time. In America, I'm pretty sure most American gacha gamers don't even know the game exists. And if they do, they've probably heard bad things about it. This one's probably not difficult. Well, now it's definitely not going to be difficult because he's probably going to slaughter that Karna. So it's just going to be Blavatsky with that arts crit. Yep, Karna's down. Oh, wow, Karna didn't die. Oh, that's so close. That was the weight room of an NP1 right there. I think that's also because of culture differences. Kind of, but not really, right? Like, they easily could advertise. Unless you're meaning like, oh, the reason that like people haven't heard is because people don't play gacha games over here in the West. I don't think that's the case at all. But like, it's just a issue that I could see that like, if they would do more, they would get more from it. But maybe their numbers don't agree. But I also think at the same time, they're not really doing a good job of making the game look good, all things considered. Come on, Waver, you can do it. Oh my god, you're not going to do it. Oh, thank god Oberon got the kill finally. I don't get game ads anymore. Yeah. It's in places like Koreatown near LAX. Or Little Tokyo and DTLA. See, I see stuff all the time online. And then obviously if you were to like go to like certain things, there would be really good places to advertise. For instance, as far as I understand it, Toonami still runs, right? So it's like getting anything animated related to advertise during a Toonami segment would probably be like the golden goose. Same thing with like certain anime related events, right? And I'm not talking like conventions. I'm talking about like if you have any sort of like major confluence of stuff either online or like in person, it would be a good idea. Because I sure as hell do, and I always block them. On YouTube? No, not YouTube. Just various other places. Chat, let me see if anybody's on. I see a Mr. Sideswipe on. He's doing some Uma Musume. I'm going to send you guys over his way. Again, I should be back tomorrow. I'll probably try to make sure I stream every day I can this week because, again, you guys know, like I was saying, I got plans Saturday and I definitely missed a lot of time last week. So expect me to be on as much as possible here for a little bit to make it up to you guys, but it is what it is. Don't forget, check out YouTube. We did get a section of the new player stuff out today, and then the day before, on Saturday, we had the stuff for the Evocation Festival. So you guys check that out. When is JP event dropping? I'd have to talk to Rubs about that. It's still a little bit here, but we're going to be getting the new event and then the Rider Grand Duel. So. Get that Artoria better? Yes. All right. I will see you guys for the next one. Go give Side my love. Later.